Bye bye commission breath for good. Yeah. You ever go to events, whether it's a networking event or a 3-day seminar, workshop, where you're showing up to get value and get prospects and clients, right? Of course you do, right? You're a responsible business owner. And have you ever worried about making sure you don't have commission breath while you're doing it? If not, you should be, because you most of the time have commission breath. You just may not realize it. And I have the Tic Tac that's going to cure your commission breath for good, right? My name's Jim Padilla, right? We Gain the Edge, and this is what we do for a living, live event king. We are all about live event mastery. And if you're hosting events in addition to attending events, or if you're a speaker, you're going to want to pay attention to this and likely share this with your list, because I have in here ways for your people to be able to actually enhance the quality of the event for you and the people around, right? So here we go. Okay, key number 1, enhance the event. Commit to the mindset of enhancing the event and the others in attendance. Okay, oh, of course I already do that. Yeah, I get it. We all do to some degree. Okay, I'm talking about as the primary source, right? Changing your mindset from, well, it'd be going to get value to going to give value. Going to give value as the primary. Remember, as human beings, we were created to connect with other people for the benefit of others. All the gifts that God gave you, put inside of you, He didn't give to you for you. He gave them for everyone else, right? So imagine how awesome you will be when you're actually showing up at an event to impact others the way you were literally designed to do so. Pretty cool, okay? That's what we want to make sure happens, okay? Engage generosity as your primary motive. Getting a little tweak here, all right? 2, play the long game. Play the long game. Okay, this is the key to playing the long game. Write this down. Okay, this is where we're going to start getting off. I know I'm going to piss off some of you. Okay, lose the revenue goal. No revenue goal. Put it aside. Set it aside. Okay, yes, that's what I said. I did say that. You did hear it clearly. No immediate revenue goal for you. All right. Okay, never compromise the long game for a short-term win. It's not worth it. Okay, the payoff is not worth it, right? We want to make sure that you embrace the mindset that ROI has legs. ROI has endurance, okay? Whenever we go to an event, if I'm going to sponsor an event or attend an event as a networking event or as an attendee, we always open up, I have my finance team open up a cost center. And that cost center is designed to track all the revenue that comes in from the relationships that were made at that event forever. Okay, we've got events from a year ago that are still producing 6 figures plus. We have events from 2 years ago that is pushing $400,000 worth of revenue. Okay, because we didn't show up looking to make sales in the room. We showed up looking to give value and impact others and make connections. Right? Give first. Give first. How about go beyond give first and give only? Ooh, yeah. Breaking brains, I know, right? How does that work for you? Okay, set up a cost center. The cost center, remember, you're building a business. You're not just trying to get clients. You're building a business. And if you're going to be in business a year from now, you might as well learn how to actually create long-term revenue strategies for maximizing the opportunities, right? And when you show up looking to get as much as you can from that event now, you actually cost yourself the long-term opportunities on a number of different reasons. I'm going to unpack that even further, right? Number 3, we got five keys to get to here. Okay, 3, research. Here's my personal opinion on this. You need to do research for the event you're going to show up. You need to find out, what does the event host try to intend to accomplish? What are the outcome they're looking for in this event? What are the attendees coming for? What's their story? What is their engagement? What is it that they are hoping to accomplish and experience at this event? If you don't do that research, in my opinion, you don't deserve to go. No different than if you went out to dinner with just enough money to eat and you didn't incorporate enough money to tip, then you didn't actually deserve to go out to eat, right? Same concept here. You need to think the big picture and be of maximum service. What is the event intending to produce? What's the expected outcome? What is the journey that these people are going to be on? And how can you enhance their journey besides selling them your stuff? Right? How can you actually be a benefit to the people who are on this journey? Okay. Really, really important. Okay. Number 4, plan and follow up. First, plan. The reason I say plan separate is because most of you don't even go to events with a plan. You just show up. You don't have a strategy. You haven't thought through the plan. What exactly you're going to do? What's your pre-event preparation? What's your post-event follow-up? How are you going to set this up? Have you actually calendared time to make sure you follow up? Or are you just too busy digging into life and business? Right? So pre-calendar your follow-up times. Pre-calendar your follow-up strategy. Okay, so again, if you're building relationships, I will show up usually with a goal. If I make goals, when I have goals for these events, it's usually for how many people I can impact. It's usually I know I can impact probably 10% of the room at minimum. So if there's 200 people in the room, I want to connect 20 people, right? I want to meet another 20. I want to serve. I want to make introductions and show value, right? Without expecting anything in return. Okay, so those are the kind of things that I do. And with the more generosity I lead with, it all follows me later. It all follows me and shows up. People want to talk to me later because they appreciate the value and they want to know more about what I do and how I might be able to help them. Okay, and it feels good. Okay, so here's the thing. I used to go in, my standard strategy was I would block out 10 to 2 on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 4 hours for 2 times a week, and I would block out those slots. So I knew I had 8 slots available. And when I was talking to people, I was, hey, I can talk to you Tuesday at 2. I can talk to you Thursday at noon, right? And so when they wanted to talk, because I didn't want to get into it at the event, I'm here to enhance the event. Enhance the event, right? I'm going to have them pursue me, and they do. They pursue me because I'm generous and I'm humble. Right? I'm not trying to push them and not chase them with commission breath. Right? You dig? Are you following this? Please make sure that you get it. Right? You want to make sure that when you're actually talking to people, it feels good for them, not just you. All right? So pre-book those conversations and have a strategy for what you might want to follow up with. Okay, there's a number of things. There's no limit to what you can actually share with people post-event. That's not your business. Again, I'm going to iterate this many times. You're not about following up to pitch your business. Okay, one thing that I do is you're going to take notes, right? I'm going to be there. I'm taking notes. I'm learning from the event. So I can recap the event, go through my notes in my journal and pick the highlights and the cool points and the things that were really that got big laughs or big ahas or really emotional moments, memorable moments for people. Put it into a recap in a PDF and send it to them. Say, hey, I was thinking about you and I had great conversations with you and this is how the event impacted me and I just wanted to share it with you. Again, giving value, not asking in return, right? Stick with me on this, all right? So here's the key. Now, this is the most impactful thing here. Number 5, this is a strategy that works all the time, right? Now, I'm going to caution you. I shouldn't even put it in this video. It should be a separate video altogether. And actually, I do have another one that it unpacks it more deeply. But if used improperly, you will screw yourself. The intention here is to build the long game. Build the long game, right? So you want to make sure that you're delivering value on this. Okay, so this is my VIP suite strategy. When I show up to an event, right, first key number 1, I'm just going to rip through these. Okay, I'm not going to go too deep into the detail. First, number 1, book a suite, right? So now you've got your suite booked. Then you communicate with the event host and be clear, crystal clear on the agenda and the schedule. Are they planning any kind of a reception? Because you don't want to be in competition with the host or with the event. Not because you can't pull as many people, but because it's out of integrity, right? They're the ones who paid for this and put this together. You don't need to be siphoning off of their clients. I see way too many people do this, and I'll be honest with you, it kind of pisses me off, right? Don't be that person. So be clear about the value that you're going to be able to bring and put this event into place. And don't be in competition with the event. Be complementary to it, all right? So once you have that, confirm the event schedule. Now you go to work. Here's the 3 things you got to do. Make a list of the key problems that your ideal client is going to solve. Okay, now, or it needs solving. And then you need to come up with 3 questions that will elicit those pain points with an affirmative yes. 3 keys, right? I went to an event last summer. We were focusing on trying to fill our 2-day conversion immersion, which is a 2-day sales training opportunity. And what I was wanting was I wanted 3 yeses from the people I was speaking to. Somebody was talking to me and finding out what we do. Right? I was asking them, do you make phone sales and in-person sales as a primary revenue generation in your business? That's a yes, right? First yes. Second yes was, do you struggle? Do you wish you had a higher conversion to be able to move your business forward, right? Is a higher conversion necessary for your success? Yes. 3, do you experience any stress or resistance when you're picking up the phone to call people so that you can have those conversations? Yes. If they answer yes to all 3 of those, I've got a reception that we're having tomorrow night at 7 or tonight at 7 o'clock in our suite AA. And there's going to be some other people here just like you, other like-minded individuals, some maybe other amazing people that I've met. And we come up there, we're going to host it. It's going to be some light snacks and some beverages. And you can just meet you and be able to unpack a little bit more about what's going on and share a little bit more about what we do, right? People show up. We get a lot of people up to the suite and we just have a nice friendly environment. And then if it's like the event is from 7 to 9, I'll do 2 15-minute presentations. I'll do a 15-minute presentation at the end of the first hour and one at the end of the second hour. And it's just a preview to share with them, here's the problem, here's the solution, right? It's an abbreviated presentation just to give them a feel for what we do. And if they're interested, they can sign up, right? Or opt in. We have gifts. You want to make sure you send them away with bonuses. Give them have them something to walk with. Give them something of value that they can take with them, right? That's a powerful strategy. Guys, it's simple. It's awesome. And I'm telling you right now, if you don't do steps 1 through 4 first, you will screw this up because you're going to make yourself an enemy of the event host, right? You're going to make yourself an enemy. You're going to make yourself memorable for the wrong reasons. Like I have a list. As I'm saying this to you, I've got a dozen people flashing through my mind. Some people whose names you would know, and I will obviously keep them silent at this point to protect the innocent. But they're memorable for the wrong reason because they've impacted the events negatively because they were competing with them instead of enhancing the environment, right? And again, trying to make the short-term buck, compromising the long-term play. Don't do that. Make this stuff happen for you. If this was beneficial to you, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share, and please put comments. I would love to know which one of these makes the most sense to you. Which of these have you tried? Do you have something different that you try? And any questions that you have about this, I'd gladly engage you in the comments. So put that in there. If there's anything else you would love for us to help you with regarding live events and influence and sales, post it in the comments and we'll answer those questions for you on video. Right? Subscribe. We'll see you on Wednesdays when these videos come out. Keep an eye open on the channel because we have a lot of other tips and strategies coming your way. Go change some lives and make a difference. All right. Thanks a lot.